It's interesting.
A 5-mana giant, you could just replay here if you wanted to.
The 6-mana, it's close for me. I have no strong feelings on this one. Are we killing that bird? Or are we pushing 8? Oh wow, this? I guess this plays towards Hooked Reaver, right? He doesn't Spellstone to play towards Hooked Reaver.
This is much weaker against Unleash.
Yeah, Unleash is still okay.
Is Unleash a 1 or 2?
I guess
off?
Unleash Plus
2
is
off,
kind of rough. If he rolls Leok with this Unleash and then the Candle Shot, it actually gets very powerful. 3 into the Giant, 3 in Candle Shot into the 2/4, and then you get punch 6 to the face. If that Misha were a Leok, Blood Trail would have been upset. He would have taken an extra 6 here.
But it would have meant he could have gone Hooked Reaver Spellstone, so he wouldn't have had the worst turn on the backswing. Hellfire Hooked Reaver, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
There would have been answers. It would have obviously sucked for him, but he would have had things he could do. I don't think it would have been lights out.
No, I agree. I think I'm pretty happy with plays on both sides.
Yeah.
I don't know if I disagree with anything.
I think her tools played surprisingly well for what people were expecting coming into this.
Well, it's easy to see a different lineup and just assume he's a moron, but I think that's a stupid assumption.
Well, it's because people didn't really like how he played during the playoffs, and he qualified through the challenger system as well, as opposed to points. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, all of a sudden the comfort pick of Spell Hunter makes way more sense, and his decks are easier to understand.
It's gone from thinking he's a genius to
it's all coming together. Well, I was wondering, is he a genius that I don't know about?
It's a really fine line between genius and terrible, isn't it?
Is it? I think it's quite
fine.
a big difference.
No, very fine line. Yep.
Something that is terrible is this Demonic Project versus Spellhunter.
Well, it means that if he ever just doesn't like one of his cards, he can change it for a different one.
Yeah, Blood Trail just puts max pressure on here. Get his face. Makes perfect sense. So, facing 19 damage. Yeah, gonna bluff Explosive Trap.
Yeah, bluffing when you're getting wrecked is pretty reasonable.
Is Blood Trail in a position where he's far enough ahead to play around that? I think so.
Yeah.
He never loses from here unless.
If I'm Blood Trail, I'm looking to give my opponent 0 outs outside of Rexar plus Chain of Insane Beasts. That's like the Rexar and Rock Dealer with insane RNG are like Rock Dealer.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
Rock Dealer.
Rock Dealer.
And Blast has been pretty passable from what I've seen. I've been kind of impressed.
Yeah, it's left. There were like a couple of turns where it's like a removal spell and it's just like a full board clear, right? Which is really good.
Missed one max health on Twilight.
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing.
It's a nice meme. God, does it ever not matter?
He's played 2 Shroom Brewers already, so it really doesn't.
You're real creative. All right, playing to that Rexar route. Also the Rock Dealer, right? Like either way, you just need to stall to find something insane.
Rexar isn't even an out, right? We're gonna take 8 twice plus whatever damage is played, so you're just dead anyway.
Yeah.
Oh look, we're gonna change one of our cards into a different one.
Oh,
oh yeah!
Woo, that's sick. He needed some healing. Oh man, I love this Spellbreaker. I want to high five Blood Trail right now.
He should definitely have silenced the other one so that the missed one at max health really didn't matter.
Just emphasize. BM Spellbreaker. The face of a killer. The face of a victim. I'm taking it.
So Druid and Hunter left for Blood Trail now.
I'm getting bored and missing mulligans.
Right, that's. Oh, I thought they were going to switch to the mulligan straight away then. No, I imagine it's going to be a 3-minute break incoming, maybe.
They make it take just long enough for me to get bored and miss the mulligan. So I'm going to use the bathroom.
It's optimal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's probably like one of the worst matchups at all could hit there, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's so hard. I mean, like, assuming you get that far, you just concede to cool down a lot of the time.
Actually, it's not that bad. He could have faced the Mani Druid, right? It should be worse. I'm not really sure about Death Rattle Hunter versus Spell Hunter. Spell Hunter's like slightly faster, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But the egg can be a problem because Death Rattle, the Spell Hunter just can't remove it. And then, yeah, so Hator has the Control Priest with the Scalebane and 2 free from Ambers. Yeah, I just wish there was a Geist in this priest deck so that it could be better versus the Druids, because I really get behind playing Geist than playing a bunch of big guys and Druid can't handle them.
Yeah, it seems like... Because Geist is like... Obviously it's not... You're like really overpaying for the body, but like... Sometimes a 4/6 is just really obnoxious to deal with. It just punches a lot, right?
No.
Like, especially if you've removed the spellstones and things, it's just...
Yeah, I mean, when you remove the stuff from the Druid, yes. It's like, if you're trying to tech for, like, matchups like... If you're expecting a lot of Hunter and Druid, which you are, Hator's not playing on banning them, wouldn't you rather have, like, Geist in your deck than the cards like Scalebane or even... Yeah, Geist is just better than...
I can't Scale Worm, I think. The Scalebane I don't mind too much, but, like, the Scale Worm sucks. Right?
I don't know. Scale Worm's alright because he's trying to beat aggro still, and the priest never gets banned.
Okay, what about the death? Can we cut the death?
Shadowwood Death.
The death is unusual.
He's trying to be good against even locks.
Bye-bye.
Can Vision's death? You can't Vision's Twilight Acolyte, I guess.
Yeah. No, but the guys would definitely just be good enough. I don't understand it. And then Big Druid, what does he? Yeah, he seems to. He just has these wraths. That's the only different thing to normal, really.
No. He told me Challenger Series, and I'm lost interest in making sense of this priest deck. I'm convinced. First instincts, dead on, hot mess. Needed a friend to tell him otherwise.
We called everyone else out for net decking and said that net decking happens too much, which you also said, Zalay, so you're in the same camp.
Net decking happens so much, but this is not better than net decking. This is worse.
Yeah.
Also, net decking, I mean...
Net decking's not inherently bad, is the thing.
It's a good thing, and it should happen a lot. I'm saying
it has,
there's
obviously
room for a little bit more innovation. This is way off the deep end.
Oh, no, obviously your argument and submitting a lineup for this is, like, very, very different.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, F2K and for DreamHack Summer, I think they were the people who innovated putting Black Knight and Gastropod in Even Lock, and for the time, that was amazing, right? And that was like an innovation of an already existing deck. That's what you want to do for tournaments. You don't want to...
Change one card. The right one card.
Yeah, you don't want to just suddenly say...
8 cards, you're probably fucking up.
Yeah.
Alright, we got ourselves a Druid Mirror.
Okay, this is interesting.
Both players kept ramp. I agree with those mulligan.
Big versus Mally.
Oh my god.
That's the Druid starter pack there for Blood Trail.
There's no UI. Is it bugged?
No, that comes
So
on.
coin wild growth into wild growth into nourish for crystals into nourish for draw. Easy game, easy life.
No.
So, no?
No, we don't need to coin.
For
Why
what?
don't you want a coin?
No, this is a mistake. Now he's going to miss a hero power this turn. He's going to wild growth this turn, and he didn't hero power because he didn't coin wild growth on 1. He missed not just 1 damage, 1 healing, but the potential to improve with some removal card or something. I don't know.
He could just go wild growth into nourish and save the coin to coin out UI earlier. If he draws UI.
Okay, but more realistically, you're not curving into UI, you're curving into this nourish. The second nourish for card draw.
No, I would have coined the wild growth, but that's just... I can see why you...
It was right. He missed the damage and a healing blood trail. Mr. Playfast fucked up already.
Is the upside of 1 health and 1 healing greater than the upside of coining UI? Potentially.
Well, it's not just coining UI. It's, what about, like, actually, maybe it is. Let's think about it.
Blood Trail plays Tarantus, so we could coin that as well.
When you try to save the coin for UI, you go wild growth on 2. Are you talking about coin nourish on 3?
You would wild growth again, and then you would nourish on...
Okay, but then you miss the upside of, like, Lich King on 8 type stuff, too. Like, you really want to... Your 5 mana turn should be nourished to get you to 8. For the Lich King, for the nourish draw, play something, like...
Yeah, but I'm just saying that's the reason he didn't do it, right? Otherwise, you would always coin wild growth if there was no alternative, right? I don't agree with it.
Didn't have a UI.
Yep. He still doesn't have the UI, which is the problem. Oh, this didn't work out well.
It's not great, is it?
So Hator played Plague, which means that his Hadronox is going to get not worse.
Did he need to play Plague with this hand? He could just innovated Dragon Hatcher, right? Was that better?
Well, he didn't have other taunts for the Hadronox. You're saying, like, Hadronox on turn 20 is going to make a lot of 4/8s instead of 1/5s if he doesn't play it? Like, I think you got to respect the value of things now. Like, this makes the better Plague now and the better Hadronox for the near and medium future. Only in the super long run does the Hadronox get better. I don't know if he can...
Yeah.
How does this matchup pan out? Should the big druid fatigue the Mally druid? It's harder with only 1 branching for armor gain.
The plan is you normally fatigue them. I played a lot of the big druid in the past, and you try and fatigue them. But yeah, normally you fatigue them because you just have too much armor for them to ever get through. But
there's also a Tyrantus in the Mally
but there's
druid,
also
so
a
the fatigue
Tyrantus.
plan gets so much worse.
Maybe you need to kill them, but
I think both people are just kind of jamming tempo without any confidence in any late game play.
Yep.
Right? It's just like, we're going to jam tempo and see if it works, because the late game's pretty unclear with these lists.
Yeah, the big druid really doesn't pack much of a punch at all, because everything has 4 attack. So it's really difficult to just kill the Mally. Ooh.
Do we ever want a 0 mana Mally? Probably not, right? We just play the Mally?
You just play the Mally, really?
We're not
not
playing
sure.
the Mally from hand, no.
No.
I mean, you could play the. You're saying you could play the Florist and guarantee the. But you really want to. Oh, this is so awkward.
I'm going to suicide 3 minions, Plague.
Are you going to play the 0 mana Florist? Or are you going to try and win the flip?
I'm going to win a flip.
Why is he just playing Plague?
Why is he not trading?
Because he doesn't need the damage on minions, because Mally is going to overkill all of that anyways.
But it's free, right?
But it's free.
There is no cost to trading in the Plagues.
I guess.
Sure,
There is
if
a
you don't want
cost,
to
there is
trade
a
off the
cost. He
Tyrant.
loses the Tyrant damage.
Yeah.
Right? He's saying next turn, I'm going to Mally swipe, and that tyrant's going to punch you in the face.
Right, but can he not just trade the plagues in and then get 2 fresh plagues?
No.
No, he can't. Never mind. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could trade 2 beetles in and get 1 fresh beetle, which sounds...
wins the flip.
Well,
winning that flip was pretty nice.
I was always going to win the flip. Easy flip. If you lose the flip, you probably run it back next turn. So swipe is doing 11 AoE and 14 to the face. So the Foretold doesn't die. Yeah, it does.
There's no way to avoid it taking that 1, is there? I don't think.
No. And then another Sleepy comes out, and it takes 1 from this beetle.
Oh, yes, sir.
Oh. So now swipe's not going face unless it's lethal. It's only 14 plus 11, right? 25, 6.
Oh, 1 mana off the Starfall.
I'm not too upset about this swipe.
$14, $11.
Hello. These gooses are still here, by the way. So Hadronoc's natural.
Stop.
Just not the Malian swipe.
Yeah.
The other one.
That seems very responsible. And you play a Jakari, go to 10.
You really, really want to have flip in your hand when you play this Hadronox, if possible.
That sounds like a consideration for another game. That's not what this game is about right now. Game is Blood Trail going to draw Lich King or Tyrant off this? Yeah, UI. Third best.
So there's still 1 swipe left in the deck, right?
And a Moonfire, which sucks, and the big boys face. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So now when he hero powers, he dies to the UI Moonfire. It's beautiful.
The taunt just gets naturalized anyway, and it's game it, I think, right? Yeah.
Is there anything at all can do? Wild growth into Malfurion?
Mouth, yeah. Then you could bait the armor up.
Is that even enough? Is there a lethal against Malfurion?
Naturalize, swipe face, spellstone.
There's
Yeah, it was still
Yeah,
lethal.
there is.
It would still be lethal through mouth.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so this hunter's getting 3-0'd apparently. I can see that. The priest should be decent against the hunter, right? Even with all these mad inclusions, because just general, that matchup's
the Psychic Scream's just a really good card against that deck.
The big druid's the problem though. It's quite weak.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because of the you just can't.
Yeah, druid just generally struggles with this Death Rattle Hunter.
Yeah. I wonder what to walk you up first. Maybe Comfort Spell Hunter.
Just going for the priest.
Shows off the priests. Okay.
kept tracking.
I wonder if he keeps Scream versus Hunter.
No, he kept the other. He got it back anyway, but he kept the Acolyte and the Dustbreaker. What do you think of that? That doesn't seem great in this matchup.
Can Acolyte the 5/5 as an egg opener?
Acolyte Dustbreaker seems bad.
Yeah, I don't think I like it.
Those are like Acolyting the 5/5, like Boar said, good, but the Dustbreaker is a shitty dragon against egg deck.
Yeah, it's always running a lot of dragons as well.
So the game plan is survive and then get carried by Psychic Scream.
Which he didn't keep. He threw one away.
Okay. Well, he wanted to
And then
shadow
got it back
four
anyway.
of them.
Yeah. It's important to note Tool isn't running Master Spell as well, which is often quite good against this deck.
Yeah. You pick Death over Psychic Scream.
I do not
Why?
like that.
Tool. Come on, man. You're reinforcing my negative stereotyping of challenger players.
What do you think of that bump? Gives him a card, but it keeps the 2/2 alive.
The card was happening anyways.
Yeah.
Like he
Yeah, I
took
think
an
that makes
extra
sense.
face damage to protect his 2/2.
I think that's reasonable.
It sounds smart.
Yeah, it was just good.
Now he doesn't have to waste any cards here.
Yeah, I liked preemptively putting the bomb down, expecting the Twilight Drake to come in, or maybe an Orkanai. It denies that.
Playing stuff so that it's in play is good, especially when you have a high value hand with Rexar, where you are never going to run out of things to do with your mana.
And then you have like a
Ways,
Queen Katharina
way to
as
go.
well. It's just really nice.
Are we not cubing this just to get a cube on board?
Yeah, I was gonna like Cube or Coin Rexar.
I can get behind not coin Rexaring because you want to coin out the Katharina,
Yeah.
but I liked the cube.
I don't know if I want to coin Katharina. Like, there's a question of how relevant is that against Psychic Scream. I think Katharina's going to be saved for like a reload after a Scream a lot of times. I think.
I guess if you don't
was
play the
probably
cube, you don't have a board that's threatening, right? So you have to do something to force the Scream.
Can someone just spend their mana?
I think Blood Trail should have coined the cube on turn 4, actually, with the mindset of pushing early damage before Scream comes down. So you should coin cube on 4, activate it on 5, and get a couple turns of attacks before Scream happens.
That makes a lot of sense because then you force Screams, and then any reload boards you have to be Screamed as well, and then you're forcing the priest to have the answers, right? That makes a lot of sense.
I just want to squeeze in that chip damage outside of forcing. I just want to squeeze in that chip damage before Scream is a thing. That way they have to Scream smaller boards in the future because they're lower life totals. They don't have the freedom to risk things as much. Like,
What are
you
we
get a
saving
lot
this
of value
Dustbreaker
out
for?
of pushing early damage against Scream decks.
What are we saving Dustbreaker for?
Just a better board.
This is a
It's
good
more
Katharina
than
turn
this.
because he needed to fill the board.
Wow.
It's really set up for the top deck Katharina into the same play again twice, right? That's been done really well here.
You say it, but this Psychic Scream is rigged. Okay.
So we want to load pressure. Grizzly has 3 health, so it dies to Dustbreaker, but not Primordial. My instinct is Rexar build a beast, but
You need to pressure
awful.
this turn, though, because
Yeah.
otherwise you're just going to get Alex, and then suddenly...
but the pressure plays are awful, so I don't know what to do. I guess Grizzly sets up for
We're
Cube
going to Grizzly.
because there's a
Set
screen
up
already,
cube, yes.
and then you Tar Creeper when you Grizzly.
Ah, it's
I
so
could have
bad.
gone Candle Shoot, but is there an Ooze left?
Who's just got played?
Yeah,
That's
he's
the
been
only
played.
one, yeah.
So Candle Shot looked with the hero power looked better than Tar Creeper to me then.
Ah, yeah, you could have just played a cube and Tar Creeper as well.
No. I don't like that.
God, there's always.
I like the chip damage because you got the King Crush, so just like a little bit lower kind of starts to really matter. Whereas the Heart Creeper, what the hell is that doing? Well, apparently
we're playing
the
the
skill
Rexar
we're running to
candle
getting
shot,
candle
right?
shotted. Or yeah. This is nice.
This was a good use of all our mana, at least.
Found the Rexar turn. I like it.
Means that we're always going to be able to put a minion, especially with the Hunter's Mark, we're always going to have some minion pressure to play.
Take Bloat Pad instantly, I assume, because he has Death Rattle Activator deck.
Yeah.
Just cheap Bloat Pad.
No good options though.
Sweet Alex, because there's no other. It's very rare to get an Alex turn, or
I'm jamming the Alex.
Light him up.
we could go for a free from Amber into Alexstrasza potentially.
You could play the Cleric with the Alex, try and protect it from another Spider Bomb. There's still one left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think I played both. Whoa.
Oh, so he wants to set up a minion to stick on board, right? And then Alex
Yep.
next turn.
I don't know, man.
Oh, is the Splitling Festeru the best pick here?
Oh, the Violet Worm is way better.
The Splitling Festeru has more stats overall, right?
Noted.
This is going to fill the board with 1/1s, right? So Bloodshell could just leave a board with 1/1s. And then
Take
the
7
1/1s
every
get
turn?
Mossy Hold, right?
What was this tracking about? Why did he tracking now?
Yeah, the tracking isn't.
He's looking for
He's
Mossy.
looking for Katharina.
Or Katharina or Mossy, right? And he can just hunt this mark on Mossy now. Like, doesn't the front half of this big minion get answered by Spider-Bomb or Hunter's Mark all the time? Whereas if you pick the Festeru, it's so annoying for the Hunters to deal with. I really wanted to pick the Festeru.
I thought you were joking.
No, I think it's
I did also
Okay.
think you were joking.
Because I don't.
Well, so about on the topic of the Mossy, like, he has the Zombies for like a similar effect, so he didn't really need that.
Right.
I don't know why he tracking this turn because I didn't feel like he needed anything in particular. He was happy to just do other stuff, save tracking for when the idea of what he wanted.
Yeah.
This was some questionable ordering as well.
I mean, questionable, but not necessarily wrong. It's like very complicated.
Well, I mean, he went Egg Activator, Build a
Oh.
Beast, right?
Okay, well that's just wrong. I apologize. You're right.
So 14 damage.
Remember when we didn't Alex him?
Yeah, can we axe him now and then die? Sick.
You can Alex and trade and not die.
Can we go back in time and Alex him?
Yeah, like I did kind of like just playing the Alex when it was there because it's
So
like you can free from Amber a defensive option sometimes, right? You can't ever Alex defensively against this deck, really.
you take the first offensive Alex you get, like, for sure.
So he could have.
Because you just don't get good Alexes like that very often. You gotta take it when you get it.
Hatul could have deathed his own Violet Worm and then filled his opponent's deck with 1/1s.
Like, by not Alexing there, he was saying, on average, I'm expecting to, like, pull ahead on board relative to this rather than fall behind. And is that really realistic as Priest against full hand Rexar? Like,
Yeah, I think maybe he was trying to set up a play where it's scary to have a 7/7 on board with the threat of Alexstrasza, but
yeah, but
I
that's
don't know, that just
optimistic.
really did not seem great.
Like, is the matchup that bad that you need to make such optimistic plays? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it is.
What? Did I miss this game?
Stitch Tracker.
Okay.
Yeah, I was also briefly confused.
4. I don't know what you picked.
Cave Hydra.
4.
Did we get do we have the option for a poisonous Cave Hydra there?
Yeah.
We didn't take it.
He took Boar.
Well,
to
Priest
hit
doesn't
him in
make
the
that
face.
kind of board that much.
Yeah.
If we look
does,
at this,
like,
if we look at this,
charge
I guess, yeah. I was just thinking, looking at the board state now, but the priest has to trade this or scream or something, right?
God,
It's
imagine
kind
if
of
we had
whatever.
Alexed him so that when we screen boards like this, he's just at threat of dying to stuff.
Yeah. Also, that death we took off Shadow Visions is still in our hand. So if we'd Alexed him, there's always like that threat that we took a Mind Blast.
Okay, I want a 5/6 face, 7/7 into Katharina, and then scream.
No, 7/7 into King Crush, then scream. Give him a deck full of 1/1s.
Oh, okay. Yeah, what?
I don't know about trading that 5/5.
Wait, didn't we want that 5 face damage? That looked really important to me.
Yeah, it looked good to me too. It's armor, right? Getting rid of armor's good.
His plan is to Anduin this turn. No, I guess he just doesn't want to scream. He's going to clear
Okay.
up instead.
This looks like a reasonable... This looks smart. Maybe this is better than what I was saying. It's like, why use big tools when we can use shitty tools to get... You know, this is a very good position he built for himself. Alright. I think I like Cthulhu's plays better than his deck building.
Yeah.
I still think there's like a big argument of just that Alex should
The
not
Alex
be
was
in
bad.
hand.
Yeah.
Or another blowback. Another
It's
win.
it's just so hard to get the Alex in play.
There's another 4 face damage.
He's looking really low against that Stitched King Crush. The Stitched King Crush is sneaky, man.
Yeah.
It's like the only source of burst. You don't want to play around
Do you
it.
think Etul is still tracking that? Like he knows the King Crush dead, right? Do you think he's actually remembering that his tracker came down before that was played or pulled out of the deck?
I doubt it. But there's still like potential for a lot of damage from Builder Beast as well that he'll just play around.
Sure.
Yeah, there's a lot of random built beasts in hand. He's got to know that much. Not how many exactly, but several. For me, this game would be way too complicated to track all the details. Like, that's a stats tracker card. I wouldn't be attempting to.
Yeah, I kind of forget you're not allowed to take notes in these.
Well, I would just have, general mental notes of, like, okay, he's got a wide range of possibilities here. That's for sure. So we're not playing based off of specifics too much, but more off of, a vague sense of...
Yeah.
The tour just needs to try and find time to play Alex, but there just isn't any time.
And he's not going to get it, right? Like, how do you...
Yeah, there's no way he can heal up because he just doesn't play heal cards.
He played heal card. Divine Hymn used.
Yeah, but
Anduin used.
the other
By the way,
source
where's the Ziliax in this deck?
yeah,
It's got Orkney, you can't play it.
he has one other source of heal, which is the second free from member. That's
This
it.
deck would be better with the Ziliax, right? He's got a lot of
Wait.
shitty cards in there, and this is a Ziliax kind of deck.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
Hator is dead.
I really don't. I don't think Etul played that game very well.
No. He missed the Alex, which is a big deal.
Yeah, they're like getting the Alexes in are really important in that deck.
It was like, it's something that you know with experience that you kind of have to do that. So, like, he should know, and he should do it, and it's important.
He just got a bit greedy, thinking he could stick him
Other
in
than
before
that, I
Alex.
thought- Other than that, also the mulligan, why are you keeping Dustbreaker against Death Rattle Hunter?
Yeah, Twilight Acolyte is like I can see the argument for it, but I don't like that either. It doesn't make sense against Death Rattle Hunter to me.
So if I'm Hatul Priest against Death Rattle Hunter, the keeps I want are Cleric,
Drake, maybe.
Anduin, Visions.
Yeah.
Do you want the Twilight Drake on 4? I mean, with the Twilight Acolyte, I'd probably keep Twilight Acolyte plus Twilight Drake, especially if I were on coin.
Would you keep Twilight Acolyte and Dustbreaker?
Yeah, going first, the Drake's a lot worse.
Sorry, I didn't hear you, Toads.
Do you want to keep the Acolyte with a Dustbreaker as opposed to a Drake? Because that's what happened that game.
I would toss the Dustbreaker no matter what.
Yeah.
And as for the Acolyte, would I keep it? I doubt it, but I wouldn't yell at him for it.
Okay.
Like 5/5s come down early a lot, right? So maybe he's just right to keep the Twilight Acolyte. When they're gonna play a 5/5 around,
and then you get a 5/4 to contest a 2/5. It's quite good.
Yeah, for 3 mana, you're getting a 5/4 and you take 3 attack off the board. So it's like very powerful when they're making a 5/5 early on, which you very often have to deal with.
And I guess that's what he's scared of, right? The 5/5 just snowballing, getting the damage in.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about where he should have cubed and then activated the cube to get all the chip damage in, and that matters. And 5/5s do that early.
Right. So there's 7 dragons in the priest deck, which is like low-ish but reasonable. Like, I don't think the dragon count's that low that you should keep Dustbreaker. I guess the argument for Dustbreaker is when there's no egg, it actually lines up really well against a lot of stuff. There's a lot of, flanking, gluttonous ooze, stitch tracker type things that it can clean up, Kaliseth, but
it's so bad against egg.
It's so bad.
And with things like no master spell to clean up eggs, I think it gets worse as well.
Using what?
With no master spell in the deck as well, it's just like a little bit worse in that matchup.
I don't think you need to play Master Spell in this deck. You have Psychic Screen, like whatever.
But I just think it makes Dustbreaker a little bit weaker against that.
The fact that he doesn't have Master Spell, sure.
Yeah.
You're right. It's not pretty. Let's go back to talking about the Blood Trail had double Wild Growth, double Nourish on the coin, and we want to talk about whether you coin Wild Growth or hold Wild Growth. Now, Boar was making the argument that if he had UI in hand, so if his hand were Wild Growth, Nourish, UI, he would just hold the coin and go turn 2 Wild Growth, turn 3 Wild Growth, turn 4 Nourish, and then turn 5 you coin UI.
That's the plan.
So the UI does come down a full extra turn faster if you save the coin that way. Yeah. But going that way, the Lich King comes down a full turn slower.
But the 9-drops come down on the same turn. And the Tyrantus comes down a turn earlier.
Yeah, so there's 3 10-drops that can come down earlier if you save the coin like Blood Trail did. So maybe he's right and I was wrong to be critical.
But his hand was second Nourish though, so that kind of means that with your actual hands, not the cards that are in your deck, you kind of want to coin growth, so you get the Nourish earlier, right?
So that would be he would get the Nourish on an 8 mana turn, which then curves into 9-drops faster a lot of the time. So yeah, I think it was wrong. I think he should have coined the Wild Growth.
I think so too.
With the pan out, it would have +1 life, +1 damage, and I think it had a lot of potential to improve from there.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense.
Usually when my hand is coin, Wild Growth, Nourish, I'm almost always going to coin Wild Growth into Wild Growth, and then I'll figure out whether the Nourish is crystals or mana on that turn 3. And then since he had the second Nourish, obviously the first Nourish is going to be for crystals. And, yeah. Unless you have the 10-drop in hand, I'm always going to coin the Wild Growth on turn 1. I've seen people disagree with me quite a lot on that, and I don't know. I think they're wrong.
Yeah, I know Pheno hates it when the coin Wild Growth happens most of the time.
It's like if you're playing an Oakheart deck, a lot of times you don't coin the Wild Growth because Oakheart decks, you're like, I just want to get to my 9 mana turn as fast as possible. and I'm going to save coin for that.
Yeah.
Fuck everything else, right? But this is just not an Oathguard deck, and it's not that hand.
Yeah. There's also the fact that if someone coined Wild Growth against you, you kind of know what's happening, right? When is anyone coin Wild Growth against you and then not played Wild Growth into Nourish? Like, it never happens, right?
Dumpster ranks.
So there is that factor that your opponent knows.
Is there anything that...
There's nothing big Druid can gain from that, right?
That well.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay, I want to pressure them, which you already wanted to do against Druid.
Yeah, big Druid's like very linear in what it can do. It's like, there's not really much flexibility in it, right? Generally.
Which actually, that's I'm glad you brought that up, because he has the double Innervate, which adds quite a bit of flexibility. Like the Primordial Drake coming down on turn 7 can be, you know, that can be lights out. So that's an instance of Hatul's creative deck building maybe being good, or at least one of the advantages of his creative deck building. And I'm using creative as mostly an insult, because his decks look pretty bad.
We have the anti-control mirror, but they actually have quite different decks, because Renman has this Mali Togwaggle.
What do you think of Mali Togwaggle over either pure build?
Worse than both.
Yes. It's kind of my
conclusion. But that's what the
too.
people who looked at numbers said, and I'm inclined to trust numbers.
What if the numbers are lying to you? You wouldn't know because you've not tested
You just have too many cards which just do nothing, and you just end up with these dead hands where you have like these Azalina, Togwaggle, Florist, Moonfire hands, and you're like, well, what am I doing with this? But it might work out for him in this series. Ooh. So Mali Tog against Mali with a Faceless. Huh. Mali Tog should beat Mali, right?
Yeah, sure. I think so, right? Because it's just a greedier build. You have like the Mali plan to pressure them and the Togwaggle to fatigue them plan. You have Azalina for value if you want to just like dump your hand in Azalina.
Yep.
So I think purple would say don't draw cards, play for fatigue sort of thing here.
But if you're the Mali Tog, you can draw cards, right? And then flip the decks.
Well, if you draw cards, the opponent's going to draw cards. The flip deck thing is usually never going to happen, but I could be wrong about that.
It's just context, right?
Yes. These games are very tricky. Renman feeling real confident with his Wild Growth on 2. Let's see how he feels about this counter Wild Growth on 2.
Yeah, turn 2 is definitely not very tricky.
Tyler still gave it some thought though, in case he needs to get the armor in for the long-term fatigue plan.
Yeah, you could get a good howl.
Spellstones.
Yeah.
Alright, so this is normally a 12 armor turn. Okay, Renman is drawing cards. Renman is the Togwaggle deck, so...
That makes sense.
Well, he's weakening himself to potential Malagos strong draws, right? Like if Tyler has one of those Twig Mali hands, he might get himself blowed up by not gaining 12 here. I think if I'm Renman, I'm thinking I'm the guy with Tog Azalina. I should probably be favored. I should probably be playing safe, gaining some armor here. Like the concept of racing to draw through your deck goes away against Druids because they can draw through their deck to keep pace with you. So like,
but if they gain 12 and you draw, you're gonna in theory get through your deck quicker, right? And then two fatigue ticks is likely to happen.
But he's exposing himself to the potential of losing to a strong Mali burst in a position where he's favored and therefore should not be taking risks.
The problem for Renman is if he just does nothing for these turns, then Tyler's developing stuff. Like, he can gain health just by drawing good cards like Nourish and then getting tempo and then not taking minion damage, right?
He also had the Ferocious Howl, which is like a bit of gain, and then he knows he has this Ultimate Infestation, so...
So you guys
I
like
liked it. I liked it, yeah.
I'm very.
I didn't
about
like
all
it.
This stuff.
I wasn't a fan of
You
drawing.
wanted 12 armor or
Yeah.
6?
I wanted to just not play it.
Oh, really? You wanted to howl?
Yeah, or just hero power, and then we can if we really don't draw anything useful, maybe we draw with it. But we have time to decide. Nothing's really happening in these turns.
Do you want a 4/4 here?
No. I mean,
You want a hero power?
We can just play the 4/4.
I'm going to take the 4/4 over the hero power.
Yeah, it's fine.
For me to hero power over a 4/4, I need to be confident that it's right, and I do not feel confident.
You could play it for free.
For me, when in doubt, play it out. And I'm in doubt, so I'm going to play it out. I don't see why this is a bad thing to have it in play, so I'm going to play it.
That seems reasonable. The upside of getting chip damage in is very relevant in this matchup as well.
There's chip damage both ways. The hero power is chip damage, the tyrant's potential chip damage.
Yep. Yeah, that's true. That is true. 2 versus 4. How likely is it that it gets removed?
So, Starfall is my first instinct here. Shoot that.
I like it as well. Starfall's often quite difficult to get out of your hand.
It's just not good in the matchup, right?
Yeah.
Like, the options are Starfall, Spellstone, which is just worse because we're using a better card to do the same thing, and Coin Mouth, which I'd rather kill that 4/4 before it kills them, before it attacks.
Yeah, this Azalina can be quite tricky. He can just copy a hand after he sees Tyler Floop if he wants, and then get burn himself.
Yeah, so Renman can just go naturalize Azalina next turn, and...
Do you think that's worth doing over the Ultimate Infestation?
No idea. Ask Purple.
It's really hard. That's actually like a very difficult decision, right?
No, you play UI.
He drew Florist. It's
It's
fine.
an easy decision.
Why?
Because we want to keep the Azalina around for our game plan of swapping the decks. We don't. There's no need to copy. Like, we can just do our own stuff, right? There's no need to try and do his stuff.
You think the swap deck's game plan is a realistic threat, and you want to play towards it here because it's good. Makes sense. He was already ahead in term. He had drawn 2 extra from branching versus 1 from coin.
Yeah, he could have.
So
also,
he was already ahead, and the UI puts him further ahead when Tyler doesn't even have mana.
Yeah, I think if he
tempo,
knew,
right here, tempo's just so strong. He can just get lots of minion damage as well.
if you knew Tyler had an insane hand as well, like if Tyler's hand was like double naturalized, then maybe you can consider it a bit more. But there's no way of knowing if it is or isn't. So I kind of like the UI is just consistent, right? The Azalina you can use later when it's guaranteed to be good, so it makes sense.
The Azalina was, in a sense, guaranteed good there in that it turned his hand from small to big, but this hand was sort of big because he had the UI, right?
Mm-hmm.
I believe you guys that UI was the right play. I was just trying to understand it better.
Yeah, no, I was trying to think it through as well. Because it's one of those things that usually matters a lot, right?
He could have also florested and reduced Azalina if that's the card he wants to choose.
And here's where Faceless is.
Wow.
Smoochy.
Yeah.
Roman just dumped this Mali early. He's trying to avoid this scenario, but...
Guess what happened? I mean, the goose sticks, so... And then there's the question of now what? Goose sticks and... Spellstone does a lot. Howl could find things that do a lot with it. So if you Howl, the Spellstone does 11. This is spooky. Who wants this Forest turn? So he has Call Gasolina whenever he wants.
Yep.
Huh. I mean, wouldn't you Howl Florist?
Can he draw minions he doesn't want to draw?
Okay, I'm a little bit scared at 36, staring down a goose.
Oh no.
No.
You shouldn't be scared. There's so few.
What would Floop do right now if Tyler had it in hand?
Nothing. This was a faceless.
It would be on.
It would be on faceless. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, but that's still pretty good.
Yeah. And
right? So that's kind of something in Renman's head. Like, what if he floops this faceless on the goose? Like,
but still, like, he'd have to have more burn. He just used the
naturalize
swipe. Yeah.
So now it's okay. One goose on board is very safe here. Even if a floop came down, he's fine. The naturalize kind of felt bad because it didn't overdraw, but like it did disrupt a UI turn, so it was good. And the goose needed to go. That's the real thing.
This is a really awkward turn for Tyler, right? Having seen one naturalized, do you think he ever considers just playing the other, like the actual goose, his own one?
That's a very desperate play. It's possible. Is he that desperate here? I don't know this matchup. I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, I don't either. So it's very...
I mean, I assume Renman's hugely favored, but I don't know what outs people are supposed to be playing to, because you have to know the matchup better to know that. So he's gonna branching for tempo to set up for UI. I mean, he's just doing the standard stuff I would do when I'm confused, which is jam tempo plays.
I mean, yeah, he's just not respecting the chance of swipe being drawn.
So Renman has 2 outs to draw swipe here. I think he hit it, yeah.
Hit it? Oh.
So yikes. So Tyler can UI now.
So Tyler has left in his deck in terms of threats. He still has the Alex and Lich King. And he has the Floop with the Florist still. And
Yeah. The Alex matters a lot in this matchup.
For the 15.
15's a lot.
Oh, this Floop draw's awkward.
Yeah. 1 and 3 for your whole game plan to need to adjust.
The thing is, though, if you're Tyler and you see that, maybe you just assume that it's already hit, so you just jam the Alex or something anyway.
I mean, he can
you don't have to worry about clearing it.
If the Floop gets reduced, he just plays it, right?
Yikes.
Yeah, you're right. 4. 1 and 3 doesn't matter.
It slows you down a turn, right? Because you'd have loved to just do it
draw
this
another
turn.
minion next turn and miss that 1 and 3. Then you can get screwed.
You can probably play that other minion though, right? But the big issue is it's delaying you a turn. If you just went like Targaz Delina this turn,
it would be insane.
It'd be so good.
Why?
Look at your hand. You have so you play the Targwaggle, you naturalize them, you Azalina their hand, then you get all these high value threats. You're going to get at least 2 of these threats, right? But also, you got to refill your hand. Your hand's empty. Or basically empty anyway, if you consider we're playing 3 of our 6-card hand.
Yeah, Tyler doesn't want to give Renman the money in hand. So make sure he plays it now, before the Azalina comes down, because Tyler's expecting the combo to maybe happen even this turn.
So this gives Tyler another turn to empty a threat out of his hand if he wants to.
Yeah.
And a turn to use this goose to do stuff. A lot of damage potential. So this turn is Florist, Plague, gain 3.
Are we naturalizing this goose?
Uh-oh. Not with Tog Azalina coming next turn. I want to do it after I Tog, not before.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's just
we already saw 1 swipe and 1 Moonfire, right? Or did we see 2 Moonfires?
I don't know. At least 1.
think one swipe, one Moonfire. He's gonna nat it.
Now the Tog Gasolina thing is...
Maybe he's thinking he's going to steal Nat anyway and just be...
Yeah, he steals the nat from Tyler.
No, because Tyler's going to play it now. This is why you
Yeah,
don't do
Tyler,
it.
Tyler should play it, yeah.
This is why Renman shouldn't naturalize, because it lets Tyler play this naturalize to play around the Tog Gasolina. Like, it disasters his whole Tog Gasolina.
But if Tyler naturalizes anyway, Renman's giving him the smaller deck.
So Tyler's
Renman has a
thinking
huge
Tog
health
Gasolina is
advantage.
coming, right?
Yep.
So he needs to prepare for that, probably by hand dumping. So my instinct would be like Floop, Branching Armor, Naturalize.
He's not natting.
Didn't naturalize. I really don't like not naturalizing here.
What Renman can do is just not Tog and just play as Alina. Take this hand.
Yes.
He doesn't need to Tog, and then he can just.
So he can just Azalina, Alexstrasza naturalize.
When he has Alina, he has 10 mana to use this hand.
Can even Moonfire for 1 as well. Yeah, this is...
Yeah, he Moonfires and Azalina's, right? We don't need to swap because the decks are even. Why are we swapping with even decks? Like, there's so much better ways we can use our 8 mana, right? With our opponent's hand, surely.
Yeah.
Like,
Unless
the
he's
Lich King card
thinking
as
he
well
needs to
would be
eat.
sick too. Like, the Lich King card might help you kill the Lich King, or he could have Nat to kill. I already don't like.
Maybe he's thinking that
Nat might be
he wants
dead.
to eke out the value. What? Yeah, so it could be in deck, but he also wants to eke out the value, so he wants to get an extra 5/5 for free, essentially.
Yeah.
He's still got these threats in hand.
Yeah, he might be thinking that Lich King's Alexstrasza's is in deck or something, and the Naturalist is in deck, and he needs them, right? Yeah, this is also fine, right? Yeah, this is.
Yeah, he gets an extra 5/5 at this way instead of throwing it away, but he misses the tempo of playing Alexstrasza here.
But Alexstrasza
It's not just the 5/5, it's the cards in his deck. He's like, I know the cards in my deck suck, the cards in Tyler's deck might be great, so even though
Yeah.
it's 4/4, it's like the quality of those cards matter.
Okay.
Tyler steals back the cards from his deck.
Also, having this Florist on board, we've now got 2 mana Alexstrasza, which is quite nice.
Tyler got like super massively punished for not using Naturalize. Like there was a pretty clear indicator to use Naturalize the turn before because Renman had played Florist setting up Tog Gasolina, right?
Yeah, you know it's coming at some point, so you need to naturalize anyway, right?
You need to dump stuff to play around the Azalina. You gotta dump the Naturalize before the Azalina. Like I don't know what that was all about. I would assume Tyler is like way better at this matchup than me. But I would also think that's a huge mistake. So I'm thinking I don't understand what's going on.
Maybe this is just a very, very confusing game state, and it's okay, and people are making mistakes because it's so confusing.
Maybe,
Maybe, but I think that's really basic. I think Tyler's like playing to some out that I don't know, or I don't know.
But maybe he could be thinking.
It's possible with mistakes, but you would think Tyler would not make.
Yeah, I know. I get what you're saying. I'm struggling to understand it as well.
Oh, overdrawing that Nat was pretty nice.
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was a really big deal. Smork.
It's 2 mana 8/8. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Renman knows what the
about
last card.
What about the Lich King first, though?
Yeah.
You didn't want that?
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe he's thinking he can
Oh, is
save
this
the
lethal?
Alexstrasza to heal himself.
Oh, is this lethal?
But
This could be lethal.
13, 16, 17. He puts him to 1.
1 is
Basically it's game over.
Oh no, there's a taunt in the way. He's putting him to like 4.
so he hero powers and moonfires the Lich King.
And then pushes.
Putting him to 5. What is this order? Fuck's sake, Renman.
I mean, he knows that's his deck, right? So he knows what's in it. I think.
Well, you're giving him a
He
lot of
should.
credit right now.
Yeah. He should know. I guess this sets up a UI lethal, right?
This is one of those games where both sides are extremely complicated to play. Both sides seemed sloppily played, and the guy who was heavily favored from the start is going to win in the end of it all.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know what the hell happened this game, and I'd be surprised if either of the players did either.
Yeah, this is definitely one of those matchups where, like, you can try and playtest it as much as you want, but I feel like with how much, like, so obviously they didn't know they were going to be playing each other. So from Tyler's side, he's thinking like putting loads of time into knowing this matchup isn't a good use of my time in the week I have like, no deck lists, right?
I think this is one of those matchups that can be really, you can learn a lot from theorycraft and rather than experience, because the in-game decisions are often like too complicated to math out right then. You kind of need to theorycraft in advance and understand the underlying principles pretty well. This is definitely like anything Togwaggle Druid related. Purple's a good guy to ask about it. Like when Tyler left the Naturalize in hand against Azalina, maybe he was thinking, this is a calculated risk because I'm so far behind here. I need him to not be Tog Azalinaing me next turn. I need him to be having one piece. The other piece is like, bottom 2, and I get another turn and figure it out.
The counterpoint is, what is he natting? Like, what cards is he going to naturalize?
Yeah.
Like, what are you saving it for?
His own hand? Like,
it's like nothing, right?
But if your plan is to nat your own hand, then you're just giving them the nat anyway.
I really think that.
Well, it's not that you're natting something different. It's that like you need like an extra turn of setup before the Tog Azalina can happen. You just can't afford to have it happen this early.
But it's not like he was doing a turn which was so bad. He didn't have
drawing through his deck.
It's not like he didn't have the mana to play Nat.
No, it's that he needed Tog Azalina to not happen yet, so he holds Nat to give himself more time to draw through his deck before the Tog Azalina happens.
Oh, I see.
In the case where Tog or Azalina is like bottom 2. Because he is super far behind, so he can be just playing to fringe outs like that.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, I guess he knows that it's only guaranteed that one of the pieces is in hand, so yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'll be back.
I mean, it's totally possible Tyler messed up. It's just...
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to think.
He's the kind of guy who has a pretty good autopilot, and like as a high-stakes tournament, he should know like nerves are a thing. It's possible he was just screwing up.
Yeah.
I think he was thinking about something, and maybe what he was thinking about was still a mistake. I don't know. That game was... It
was like... It's weird, because it was really interesting. There are a lot of complicated turns, but it doesn't feel like good to like think like, oh, I'll go and watch that again, because like what the players didn't seem to make sense. So then like it changes the whole outcome, right? It didn't make sense to us, at least. Maybe they have a thought process that we don't because they know the matchup better than we do, but...
Yeah, Nobel was pointing out in chat that like before when UI'd, he could have just guaranteed reduced the Azalina with Florist. How it was like Florist Azalina UI, right? And then as you saw after UI, it got way more awkward. He had to like dump the Mali, and then it reduced the Floop, and then things got delayed a turn.
Dumping the Mali gave the opponent faceless on Mali. Things got a little spooky. He had to naturalize because of it. So the lesson there was you want to take a solid Florist first chance you get, right?
Yep.
He's at a huge advantage in that matchup because he runs Azalina and the opponent doesn't. And Togwaggle as well, right? Like, both of those are key.
Yep.
They kind of both they both attempted to be greedy against Druid with their Druids, but Renman leaned into it harder. gets the better druid matchup at a bigger sacrifice against like aggro.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can see that trend across this whole lineup. Sacrificing against aggro.
Just different expectations on the metagame.
Different players, like, obviously if you know your groups, you're expecting different meta games anyway, right? Because you want to prepare your lineup for the group, not the field.
Yeah. So, even lock versus Death Threat Hunter. We see this matchup loads at the moment. Feels like the coin is quite important. Does it? Yeah. Being able to coin egg into Terra Scale before the opponent like gets the giant going.
Tyler only has one Spellbreaker as well. Spellbreaker often quite good in this matchup if you're on the coin, especially.
Yeah. Hunter's Mark Cube or Grizzly?
Cube seems to make the
another
most
mulligan?
sense to me here.
I missed the mulligan myself. Did you see the mulligan?
Same.
Post?
No, I
You all
did
missed
not.
the mulligan? Never lucky.
They just get so boring.
And also, you never know if there's a break between the games or not, or how long the break is.
Yeah, it's not really a solvable problem. Maybe there's some way to make progress on it, but it's just kind of gonna happen.
I like the cube pick over the Hunter's Mark. 2 Hunter's Mark can get... it's hard to use them both, and then you end up getting geisted, and things get really awkward.
And then for Grizzly, it's kind of like, well, the Warlock just has big hands all the time anyway. So Grizzly's not so good. It's often just going to be like a 3-3, 3-4.
Spellbreaker in the even lock.
Yeah.
He does have the Black Knight, though, for these Grizzlies. We saw Renman tracking over 1 Grizzly already, though. That's... Yeah, so his Katharina only
the
plus
one?
King... Oh! But do you want to Spellbreaker that?
I mean, the issue with Giant... Okay, no, you don't want to Spellbreaker that. You want to Spellbreaker a cube. So you're just going to Giant.
Yeah.
I don't mind Spellbreakering the egg if you're on the coin. They play the egg, you coin breaker, that seems fine.
Yes.
Now that an activator's been used, there's no way I'm Spellbreakering over
Yeah,
Giant.
definitely. This is a pretty disgusting turn, though, from Renman.
Yep. Tyler's thought process is, shucks, that was unlucky.
Just scooping.
Just tap 7/7, take the overdraw.
No, if you overdraw, you lose. You can't do that.
That's a
Okay.
good point. I forgot about that condition in Hearthstone.
Just
Which
four-
7/7? The left one or the right one?
Yes.
Incorrect.
left.
Always the right one,
Always the right one.
because it's right.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it's left.
Left is never left is left, you dingus.
Just depends on your perspective, right?
Oh, God.
What if I'm looking at it from Renman's point of view?
Woo!
Oh, so Tyler's conceding. He overdrew.
Yep. You played the left one. That's not the right one.
So, this is a Howlmaster short turn. Or are you
Seems-
cubing the egg? I want a short and then be able to cube my guy and trade in the cube into the next big guy that comes down.
There's
I would have
only
short.
one taunt this turn. Oh no,
This has
Great
more-
Sun Fury. There's Giant Sun Fury.
I don't know if I would have
This is
short
more murder.
actually. I would have probably just cubed. Yeah.
This doesn't look bad. He's not in bad shape against.
Yeah, you're not looking at this board like, oh, Renman's in a bit of trouble here.
So
If he's short.
you play a 7/7.
Yeah, big taunt. You could defile with it.
Yeah. Why?
God, it looks atrocious. Let's not. 7/7, your move.
Are there any draws for Tyler that after, like, for next turn that can do anything? I don't think so, right?
Sun Fury.
Sun Fury. Yeah. Yeah, so Sun Fury a bust, right? Although,
Probably Sun Fury. I mean, so it's either bust or Sun Fury and bust.
yeah. Wait.
Oh,
it's it's a different way.
Okay. I was just upset that he didn't do the lethal that I was looking at.
Yeah, I wanted to do that lethal too. God, we're so in sync.
It was so clean.
Wow, these series have been so fast. Like, if anyone sweeps this up,
These guys are playing really, like, well, not just, but like generally today, the play's been really quick.
Yeah, I agree. We spent a lot of time thinking about the turn that happened
Yeah.
instead of the turn that's going to happen because they're just playing so fast. Because, you know, they've play tested the hell out of all of this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Thanks, Ali Straza, for hosting.
So yeah, just Redman's key block left, and key block does actually have a little problem. It's unfavourable against the Death Rattle Hunter and the Even Lock.
Mm-hmm.
And Mali Druid is 50-50, so it could be. The reverse sweep is definitely possible. Although,
Yeah.
Skull of the Minari is a card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Usually the guy who's up 2-0 has Skull the Minari on curve. That's my experience with Hearthstone.
That sounds mathematically based as well.
Yeah, for
Yep.
sure.
Oh, we're taking a break.
Hearthstone's, it always feels like it's a rub salt in the wound kind of game, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're winning or losing, it's just like, guy who's up 2-0 is getting the good job. Man, is that a bunch of nonsense I was spouting? I hope nobody took me seriously.
Okay, Redman's Q block build plays one Shroom Brewer. One Zeliax in the face. That's hard. And it's like change any of the matchups. Shroom Brewer doesn't. There's no Spellbreaker against Death Rattle Hunter. This just sucks, right? Yeah.
What do you think of Zeliax in that deck? Does it make sense?
Good card.
Every deck.
Every deck.
Gains
Yeah, it's just a
life
good card,
in
yeah.
Q block. Q block often has a weak turn 5 unless they have an overpowered turn 5. Like when Q block's behind on turn 5, they're pretty weak. So Ziliax really helps.
I suppose people were playing Rotten Applebaum in Q block for a while, right? This is better than that.
No.
Ziliax is better than Rotten Applebaum.
No. Was that really played? No.
Post nerf
bad
Q block,
players.
people were playing with it a little bit.
God, is Rotten Oh, God. I have a long history with Rotten Applebaum, let me tell you. Before it came out, I was like, this card sucks. It's worse than Shroom Brewer, which doesn't see play. And I was dead on, and I'm super tilted that other people continue to disagree with me about that. How dare they be wrong? I explained to them. The card is bad. Taunt Druid doesn't play it. They just argue with me. No discussion. Bad. Ziliac's good.
It is
bad.
But it did see play in Q block for a bit.
No, it didn't.
It did.
Badly. It saw
Yes,
play
badly.
badly in Taunt Druid deck for a bit, too. People could make all sorts of bad decisions to put it in decks, and it was bad the whole time. Before it came out, it was bad. After it came out, it was bad. You could put it in your decks, and it's bad. It goes down to, like, fundamental Hearthstone theory of bad cards are bad, good cards are good. And that's why you play Ziliax in a lot of decks and Applebaum in none of them.
What about in my Rotten Appleborn Warrior? What am I meant to play in that?
No.
Quest Priest.
No.
Taunt Warrior.
Still no.
Odd Taunt Warrior.
No, I spent a lot of time on that one. I kept looking at Applebaum. I kept looking for neutral taunts that were playable. I was like, God, I'd love some playable neutral taunts. I played way more Abomination than Applebaum. So just let that sink in. Abomination is a steaming pile of bad, but at least it did something in a specific metagame where Token Druid, Wisp Soul was weak to it. But Applebaum, just no. No. Definitely a trigger for me.
Well, you seem quite passionate about it.
I know what I'm going to do. Just snipes away with my double Rotten Applebaum deck.
Oh, I would like to encourage this behavior.
I'll queue like...
Please do.
If I play Control Priest or something, I'll queue up Mali Druid with like all the armor gains to have 2 Rotten Applebaums.
Oh, we get to see a mulligan.
Oh?
Oh? Did I miss
I didn't see
think
Redmond's.
already mulligan.
Redmond full mode, his hand was bad.
So this is even versus cube, so people are going to keep cards like Mountain Giant and Skull of the Minari.
Yep. Doomsayer as well for Renman is quite good.
Librarian is a card.
The Doomsayer's only good going second, really, for Redmond.
He can play it on 3, going into Tyler's
Then
3.
he can't Giant. And
No,
Tyler's
but
done
it
is the
gives
Giant
time.
first.
Gives him time to figure out a way to get more mana to try and deal with it, I guess.
I guess this match is just whoever goes second wins. Well, not quite like that, but the guy who goes second is a lot favoured, I think.
The guy who goes second with the Mountain Giant usually wins.
Yeah.
The first Mountain Giant in play. Good.
Redmond doesn't play the Librarian because he wants to draw Spellstone so he can answer Mountain Giant with Spellstone.
It's more that he doesn't want chip damage, right? He doesn't.
He
want to
wouldn't
enable
attack with it
freebirds.
regardless, yeah. But, yeah.
Did he keep it and then not play it on one?
He full
Did he
mulliganed.
mulligan do it? Okay. So this would be an instance of a scenario where you would mulligan Librarian, because having it out early doesn't contest the board efficiently. It doesn't push chip damage.
It does contest if you get Spellstone and you have... Like, you can
Spellstone's not a part of the game plan. The plan is Giant, Skull, pulling demons.
And
Spellstone doesn't fit that curve.
Well, Librarian helps you get to those cards, right? The Skull and the Giant, because it draws you a card.
But you just toss it, because it's like a late game play for upgrading your Spellstones, because all of that is mulliganed late game nonsense.
There's the world where Tyler doesn't have Giant on 3, right? And then the Librarian helps contest that.
Librarian first because he wanted to Doomsayer, and he got rewarded. Good job, Renman. Making me happy. Thank you. He wanted the Doomsayer to block the Mountain Giant turn. Well done, Renman. Good man, good man. It's not lucky, that's skill.
Now he can Shroomber a cube into Lackey into Godfrey. He has the 4, 5, 6, 7.
Against double Mountain Giant.
Sweet.
I mean, what percent of ladder players do you think don't Librarian on 1 and then Librarian first on 3?
0.
Negligible.
Yeah. So this is very well played by Renman. It's making me happy.
So with Tyler, are we throwing away this coin or are we throwing away Sun Fury? Is that ever a consideration?
God, they're both pretty valuable, right? Can I lose something else, please?
Yeah, just pass.
Oh yeah, you can burn the top card of your deck. I like that.
No. We can't do that. Remember? We lose if we do that.
Oh, you lose. No, the Sun Fury is a mistake, right? The Sun Fury is actually pretty good here because it's your only 2 mana card, and it's like it's like quite good with all these big boys that might want taunt. So that
you can play it on 5 as well, right? Because you're going to play a Giant this turn. Then you're going to play a Giant on 5, and you play a 2, and that's
Why do we need to taunt our Giants?
We don't, but we want to use our mana and pass things in play.
I mean, it's your only 2-drop as well. I like burning my top guard, Giant on 4, Giant Sun Fury on 5, like Toast is saying. Why is the card in your deck that good here? Is the card in your deck really going to be better than a Sun Fury on average? Sunfury seems like exactly what the hand needed.
Spellbreaker, Geist, go down. I'm just naming good cards here. Ooze.
Is Geist good?
It makes it more awkward to do like cube things, right? That's kind of it.
Tyler has this insane pressure hand of Giant on 4, Giant on 5. Sunfury supports that with an extra 2/3. What?
What do we think that is?
He's playing on Faceless.
Does it?
Apparently.
Oh, so he wants the giant.
I'm so
coin
confused.
giant.
Like, I guess I'm learning right now. I don't know. I want this Sunfury.
I would have played giant. Even if he faces it, you play another giant and smack him in the head.
Yeah.
Play it on stone, spellstone, right? Because the librarian might have
Trade
spellstone.
Spellstone? Who cares?
Okay, but like you're gonna play the giant at some point, and that's.
Are we gonna play our shit so that it's in play and not think too much?
I don't know. Is this not like
I'm
similar to
upset
the
about
argument of like you play the Twilight Drake before naturalizes instead of giants? Like, just I really like just making them have that spellstone trade. That's the whole turn. It's not even that good.
I feel like
You don't
Tyler's
develop.
letting
You
me
play
down
another
here.
giant.
I want to overdraw on turn 3, Giant on 4, Giant Sunfury on 5. We had a great plan.
Yeah, I really liked that.
I don't know what all this thinking and stuff is about. The hand told him what to do. The hand was so smart. So this gives
Now
me
he-
Giant Coin Drake next turn,
Yeah.
which is that sounds smart. So
Is he gonna Geist?
it's a pretty reasonable Geist turn because it kills the Pact before the Lackey Cube thing happens.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
But a Drake coin, a giant coin Drake is a lot of pressure.
That all evaporates if he goes Cube Pact on a Void Daddy.
It really does.
It's very interesting. It's he's trying to trade a Doomguard before he gets copied. Did not work.
That's an L.
He can still it still
Oh,
works,
he's
right?
trading for Arcade.
He's still
Trading
killing
for
the big boy
Lords.
before any
Yeah.
QB things happen. This is very responsible adult from Tyler. Thank you, Tyler. Smart man. Smart man. Maybe Tyler's just smarter than me this whole time. He understands the matchup better, right? Like,
This is Lord G.
Was that better than Geist? We have a 6/6 in play, but
Well,
we
he had
missed
the
face damage.
I think he's got the right idea. Rather than face damage, he's playing for tempo, for board presence. And he did that by killing the big Q-block minion to play around Cube and Faceless.
Yep.
He's playing for tempo, which seems smart. He still has a window here to push damage, where Renman can't put up another Void Daddy on 9 yet, so he's got like plenty of time to just build a board and get some murder done.
Hold up. He could defile and clear everything.
You put
Yeah.
one into the Drake,
One
one
the
into
Dreads.
the Infernal, and then you get to keep your Twilight Drake.
I like this.
Yeah.
Me too.
Wow.
And the even lock is so low that you give up on playing around Hooked Reaver and just push the 5. Oh, yeah. Good man, Redmond. I kind of like...
The thing is, if you're the even lock and you're not going face, you always end up losing to this Gordon from the cube because you just can't handle the extra Void Lords.
Right, you're saying the late game is super Q-block favored, so you need
Yeah.
to make it happen. But he was... I think Tyler was playing towards a reasonable mid-game plan of... Like, if that didn't happen that turn, like, Librarian Defile isn't that common. He'd already seen a Librarian earlier. So, like, it's not like that's something you should be playing around. One of Librarian.
Yes. Yeah.
Tyler was playing towards, instead of pushing damage on turn 6 and getting massively cock-blocked and losing, I'm going to play for board on turn 6, push damage on 7 and 8, maybe even 9. And that's how you beat
I think
people,
it leads more back to just not playing the giant, right? And because you're scared of a Spellstone that might be
sorry.
there. Oh, no.
The start of it looked bad. Just giant on 4, giant Sunfury on 5.
Yeah, needs to tap. So
If he monks, he could get double hellfired. So he's gonna not homunculus.
We saw one Hellfire already.
Oh, he did? Well, what about Doomguard Prince then?
Yes.
Nope, that doesn't work either. There's a taunt.
Nope. Yeah.
Doomguard Spellstone.
No.
Well, how much health would he have been on? Would he not have been on 5 if he did that? I think he'd played Trooper, yeah.
So Tyler's game plan of focusing on board rather than chip damage kind of working here.
Yeah,
Not as
Renman
well
just has a
as
super
you would like,
awkward hand here. But this Lackey pickup
Yeah.
is huge.
Because it guarantees pulls a taunt unless he top decks it.
Yep. Or Tyler has Spellbreaker. Let's get tapping Tyler.
Yeah. And go for one of those spellbreakers.
Why is he always hitting first before, like, tapping?
Yeah,
Well,
Maybe
we
he's
went
thinking-
It
first.
was.
No, we
I don't know
always
what
want to
that
tap
hit first.
first. Because if we hit
Yeah.
Spellbreaker, aren't we just going to Spellbreaker the Lackey?
That's kind of what I thought. That's what I wanted to do.
This turn hitting first was wrong. The last time he did a Lackey first. I thought it was smart.
Yeah, last time it made sense. This time, I don't know if it
No.
did.
Ooh.
A little late.
That Skull Spellstone seems really good.
Could also Doomsayer Skull. And tap. I want to tap.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. Uh,
What?
He could. What?
That didn't go well.
Oh, he wanted to cube it, right? Oh, he's scared of Ooze. Yeah, he doesn't want to play Skull and then get Oozed for tempo, because Ooze is quite likely with only 12 cards left for Tyre next turn, right?
Yeah, this is about 65% to happen if he calls.
Yep. So he just thinks it's not worth it, and just wants to get these Doom Guards in. Oh, he's just gonna kill him.
Yeah, he's like, look, I'm ahead on board. I might just kill you, and if I don't just kill you, I'll find time to find Gul'dan, and then I'll just kill you.
Oh.
Right?
So
he's
how
like
fast
playing the
was
Doom
going
Guards.
before-
He played around Ooze, and he just set up to where he's gonna have time for Doom Guard it for Gul'dan and win. Tyler's like playing for fatigue now. His Drake's at 7 health, so is there a way he can like Hellfire Spellstone clear, right?
yeah. Is there any kind of Defile play?
No.
No.
I don't
Wait,
think
unless
so,
there's
right?
Dreaded Furl? No, there's no. No Defile.
Do we want to play this Homunculus after this?
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Gains you life against the Gul'dan this turn. It
Yeah.
sets up to be revived by your Gul'dan. Tyler doesn't
We're
want
not
to tap.
beating
because
Gul'dan,
it's- Okay. So Renman's just tapping for Gul'dan.
Yeah.
Very logical Doomsayer board. Ooh, Zodiac's Prince. Me gusta.
We saw it earlier, right? And the Prince is just bigger than Ziliax. It's great.
So we dump this Gen Infernal.
Yeah, Dread Infernal, face, and turn.
If we play Gul'dan, we don't die to his Gul'dan. I think I'm happy to just concede
I
to
think
that.
we die to his Gul'dan. Like, you want the Gul'dan more closer to the bottom of his deck to win this game.
Yeah, I think I agree.
If I'm Tyler, I'm like not tapping, taking all sorts of risks, just being like, yeah.
No, we don't Geist. We want him to
What?
draw Dark Pact.
Yeah.
You just gave it a what? No.
I don't know if you want him to draw a dark pact. This helps him win in fatigue, but I do agree. That
Right, yeah, but we do it later, right?
Look at the fatigue
Yeah.
counts. They're already
You want
like
to go
5 different.
Infernal into Gul'dan into guys. Now he gets himself in trouble.
This is a this was bad.
I don't agree that you wanted him to draw pact. Like, you like how this helps you.
Well, no, because what's he pacting for a long time, right?
You just win. You just kill him if he draws pact. That's the plan, right?
Oh, really?
If he draws pact, like, he didn't draw a card for a turn, right?
Yeah.
Well,
We're gonna have
he
an
draws
extra
2
6/6 here. And imagine if Tyler had drawn pact of giant and didn't draw. Imagine if Roman had a pact, didn't draw the giant, didn't draw this Gul'dan. Tyler would just win.
Yeah.
Well,
I definitely agree that Tyler should have Dread Infernal. Like, it was a way better setup for Gul'dan.
because both lackeys are gone, he's not going to cube anything. It's not like packs going on anything. I don't think you're winning in fatigue, right?
To find anything to cube anyway.
The moment Roman's Gul'dan comes down, Tyler's screwed. There's no fatigue plan.
Tyler has a fatigue plan here.
Is there a double defile? Is there the clear?
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, he only summoned one Voidlord, yeah. I mean, maybe Tyler can clear and then the fatigue plan works.
But I really don't think Geisting first was right for that. I think. Do we all agree with that?
Oh.
Yes, but okay. So 4/4 goes into 3/9. That makes a 1.
Hero power, the 5/5 is a 2.
I really want the hero power on the giant if I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're probably gonna have to double defile. That's like how this is gonna work.
That's okay though. We don't mind using 2 defiles to clear this if we can.
So 4/4 into 3/9. Then the board is 1 defile. The second defile makes the 2. He's gonna double trade this and just full clear. There's no 4. I don't know what that 6/6 attack was about. Oh, his 4/4 is the 4.
So now he has to hero power the.
You hear powers the giant, double defiles. He's trying to single defile.
I feel like he ran out of time trying to figure out what he wanted to do here.
Yeah. This got really yucky.
Yeah, he did not. He's not happy about that. He's.
No, that was bad.
Yeah, that was.
This is the thing, like, defile decks are really hard to play. You kind of have to practice them a lot to know how to do the defile math fast enough to get it done in game. I'm not very good
Double defiles are really rough as well, right?
Well, it just fixes one missing number is the way to look at it.
Yeah.
Damn. That was a tough.
That was sad. So Renman loses in fatigue if he doesn't murder Tyler first. So he's trying to figure out how to murder Tyler. Does he want the giant? No,
This
that's
giant's
too
going
shit,
to go
right?
face, right?
Yeah, if you get Ziliax Taldaram. Does Tyler have a Hellfire still?
Mana turn, and that's fine.
If Tyler has Hellfire, does he win?
Is he out of Hellfires?
I'm not sure. Oh no, he dies if he Hellfires.
Oh, the Tyler cam.
It's good, I wasn't getting head clutching from the first Gam angle.
Okay.
My instinct is the cube, Ziliax, and hero power face, but I have no idea what I'm doing.
What if you just trade and hero power, and then we can go giant and hero power on the same turn, or do we have to? This is like going to be our only cube target, right?
With the Black Knight, we can full clear this, right?
Yep. Is Tyler going to win this then?
Not necessarily. The mountain giant isn't checked, right? He's got like a Hellfire board clear into a mountain giant, but I guess when he Hellfire board clears, Tyler sets up again to contest the giant.
Yeah.
Last card is Umbra.
Was that good enough?
Renman lost.
So the Umbra can contest again now, though. And then he can stick giant. But he can't because he can't
He
play
can't
the
air
giant.
power and giant at the same turn, yeah.
The giant just goes to 11, right?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, my chat's pointing out a lot of things about Renmen. When he played his Gul'dan, he could have just cleared Tyler's board and made it so Tyler couldn't defile the Gul'dan, his Gul'dan so easily.
Yeah.
If Renman had just played the Zodiacs and the Umbra, not the Umbra, Zodiacs and the Tal'Daram
Yeah.
and defile, he could have just cleaned
This
up.
game was super complicated. It got sloppy on both sides.
Yeah, there was definitely a double defile clear. Because he was missing one number,
Yeah.
and the double defile just fills the number. The turn Tyler had it.
Yeah. I think that was really just I think he just ran out of time. Didn't know what he was doing.
Well, definitely, but like the attacks he made were fine if he just went. He left his 4/4 there for the 4, but then his hero power was wrong. Like you hero power the enemy giant down to 5 and just double defile.
Yeah, he just
Yeah.
ran out of time to find the 2,
Yeah.
and like that's obviously like there was definitely a way to get.
Yeah, and that's where experience and practice comes in. You know, when you have 2
Mhm.
defiles, the second defile counts as whatever missing number you're missing.
Hmm.
Like you can easily make a 1 or a 2, but not both. So use the second defile to make the 1 and the 2, and then
Yep.
things are very easy from there. And then you're stuck in the giant because that's like the high health minion that needs to come down to fit into the defile. That's it.
Wow, I've never seen this matchup go like this.
Yeah, we have to play this breaker, right?
Well, there's the question of like, what does Tyler remember of Renman's cards, right? That's
Sure,
there's
yeah.
a huge chaos factor here. Like this is clearly not a perfectly played game where he knows all
Mhm.
30 cards.
Yeah.
You have to remember as well, like being on the stage as well just makes that defile just like you just can't add as easily for whatever reason.
And then like, oh, how do you feel after messing up that like playing the taunt and then defiling again? Like, not great, right?
Yeah, you see the
You know,
rope and
it's-
panic.
I want to say like stuff like this. It's super understandable to me because like how do you practice for playing such a high stakes Hearthstone tournament?
Yeah,
Because the whole issue is your human brain starts sabotaging you when the stakes get really high. It's just a part of being human. If you don't have experience and you're not lucky with your brain being wired in an unlikely way, most people, when the stakes get really high, like they are in this tournament, your brain thinks differently and worse.
Yeah, definitely.
And the main way to overcome that is experience. But how do you get experience with a once in a lifetime opportunity?
yeah,
It doesn't exist.
it's impossible.
So it's kind
It
of,
also
in a
makes
way,
sense.
it's almost impossible to train your brain to get it right in these scenarios consistently.
Yeah, it makes sense that for like the first 2 games, it's not as big a deal either because like your brain knows those games aren't the deciding game, but that game is like if you lose, right? That's it. It's over.
And Defile's just historically a nightmare, right? Like with the puzzle labs, for me, the most like obnoxious one was the Defile one.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Renman has
Man,
this
that was
skull.
great. Hearthstone wasn't making me happy. Wild Growth UI, that makes me happy. Skull of the Minari.
No demon there.
Okay.
Makes me unhappy.
Got time. It's okay. I've been thinking a lot about if it's worth teching an ooze into Druid.
I used to think about that.
People play MC Tech.
Probably not.
There's room.
Yeah, but MC Tech's
Good.
general. Yeah, better.
There aren't enough weapons. Has to be like above 50% weapons to play in Druid. And decent weapons at that.
Hmm.
The old turn 3 do nothing.
No, it's Defile, right?
Oh, is it? Defile's just bad in this matchup.
I would jam Defile. It's
I
useless.
don't think you need 2 defiles in the matchup.
Yeah.
Part of it is that you want to make hand size to tap because you don't have that demon yet.
This is a twig. Or is this? Does he
You're
want to
saying you
play
don't need to
Titan?
nourish because it gets you to 8, which doesn't do anything. So you just twig to get the full twig off
I'll
faster.
get this twig going.
Renman's Warlock does not have weapon destruction, so this twig is consistent and powerful. The payoff to nourish is if you top deck something good to do with 8 mana next turn, which would be like twig plus 4 mana. There's the question of, does he need this twig online that fast? And the answer is maybe. It's worth it. It's more likely than that you need the extra mana next turn, right?
No demon.
Coin Skull anyway. Your other plays are too embarrassing.
Defile tap into coin lackey. Into trade into cube.
If you defile tap, you're burning a card. Is it 10 right now? You needed to defile last turn if you wanted to tap defile this turn.
Yeah, that's why we were... Man.
I agree. You should have done it last turn. This turn I also don't like the defile.
Yeah.
I think you should have defiled on 3 and shouldn't have defiled on 4. On 4 I just wanted to coin the skull.
Yep.
Coin skull's not good, but I don't know, like we're gonna want that thing in play at some point for us to win this game.
Mm-hmm. And you know there's no ooze, so like just playing that mana at any point is fine.
He didn't.
This is so good.
Dun, 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 dun. The line Renman took would have made more sense if he had Pact in hand. He saved coin to set up coin lackey into cube Pact, but he doesn't have the Pact part, so I'm not that into it.
I mean, he just has to hope he draws it.
Which, if you're hoping to draw it, I would have just. That's why you coin skull on 4.
Yep. One
Like
reason for
hope to draw.
Yeah, we're talking about the twig. Because he twigged, it was weak to Umbra into coin
This
lackey.
defile is spicy.
This defile is very
Does
spicy.
5 to everything. He very often he's what 75% to get Doomguard and clear that Alex. Easy. This is the best pan out.
Are you
It's
clearing
also
the
the-
Alex?
Well, now that you ask, no. I was going to, but now I'm remembering how broken Void Lord is. So here's the question: does the Alex get into my face? He needs 7, 3, 3, 3.
It's so hard for it to get to face, right? That's the thing.
I want to go
It's
face
like a
against Doomguard.
naturalize and then 3 sources of 3 damage.
Oh, but
which-
UI, right? He's going to UI the Doomguard.
Yeah, but make him have the UI.
Well, kind of, I think making him have it's reasonable because you're like, Renman's pretty dead to UI here either way.
I think UI's going face, though. Maybe.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
from Renman's perspective, you kind of have to hope that Tyler just doesn't have this UI because when Tyler has this UI, the twig's going to break you. So he just has to pretend it doesn't exist and
Yeah.
hope it doesn't happen.
Yeah, if he trades UI, I would go face for sure, and he doesn't want to take the 5.
So I did like Renman's smork with the Doomguard there. I thought that was a good play to win.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
And dead man walking, whatever.
Damn, if
Yep.
Tyler hadn't got Mally here, though,
Sure,
Renman could just stabilize.
He would have time. He would have time to put it together. Like, Warlock can't defend itself from this twig in any way. Warlock's only defense against this is to pressure harder, faster.
Yeah.
And that just didn't happen with his draw.
Mhm.
Yeah, no
But it does go
giant,
back to
no
the turn
demon.
3.
Yeah.
It goes back to the turn 3. If he had defiled, like you said, Boar, the turn 3 defile would have allowed for turn 4 tap defile, which allows for, like, better skull potential and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think he would have got
Yeah.
in this game, but maybe.
Yeah, the lackey like Taldaram defile, like it was cool in the end, but like it was really just not necessary if he'd played the earlier turns a little bit differently.
That game was just destined, yeah, for Tyler. So, Death Rattle Hunter versus Q-Block. The Battle of the Death Rattles.
Which deck does it better? One of them has a better weapon than the other.
Yeah, Candle Shot is pretty good.
Yeah.
Any other? Yeah, that game there wasn't really much.
Tyler has ooze. That's like really important for this, right? That matters a lot.
Yeah, the glows or. Let's see what HSV Beth say about this matchup. It's 50-50. Oh boy.
Sounds about right.
So we've got mulligans. What do we think?
Giant, Librarian are good. Cube is not. And for Tyler,
Just tracking.
So the Samus Ashore
How
sucks
good
into
is-
a giant. Right?
what if you keep Shaw Cube play dead? What happens?
You coin. I mean, you play. He plays giant, then you play Shore, and then it dies.
Yeah. Shaw's good if you coin it on 3, so it's not good with Cube play dead. I have no idea what to do with Tyler's mulligan. That takes a lot of thought to figure out.
I would not have kept the Hammaster Shore in this matchup.
Yeah.
No way.
If I'm not keeping the shore, I don't know if I'm
Coining
keeping
Shaw on 3 sounds good.
To what end? Oh, if you have
So that
Spider
it's in
Bomb.
play.
Yeah. Okay.
See, this is coming together. Now he just needs to find a Spider Bomb or a Hunter's Mark.
Yeah.
He's got plenty of time for it. That's another cube because these other cards suck. It could
Yeah,
be Grizzly, but
Warlock's
I
got
think
big
it's
hands, so Grizzly's not so good. It's often just going to get answered immediately.
Yeah, so you just take a second cube. It's kind of win more, but like you definitely don't want the second candle shot. And this Grizzly, like you said, just sucks. Cube's situational, but at least it's powerful, you know? Once you just jam 1 for tempo, that's better than what the Grizzly and candle shot do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you have to camp. I want a coin Shaw on 3. I guess I'm going to Hunter's Mark candle shot on 4.
What are we coiling Shore into?
I don't know. Figure it out later. Removal turn. I just want it in play before the. I want it to be attacking. I want a steady shot this turn.
Mm-hmm.
This gives him potential to make a 4-mana play on turn 4. He's going coin Shaw into 4-mana play on 4. Missing the damage is kind of relevant against Q block, but it looks like it's working out well. For
You
him.
have to be quite
Now he has
careful.
coin Shaw in.
Yeah. With your
Now he has the
cubes.
tracking Spider Bomb.
Like, if we're going to keep our Shore and then Renman just Tardarams that, or faces it, then things can get a bit.
Yeah, Cube's not very good without activators. But the point of Coin Shaw is just that it's in play and it attacks, and he's relying on his other cards to deal with this giant.
Oh,
and
that's not the cards.
It's worth noting this is a pretty unlucky pan out for Tyler. He's 14 cards into a deck with 4 outs to answer that giant, and he just missed. The Shaw looks really good, right? Because it made the Spider Bomb so much better, and it's just like in play attacking. I think it was good.
It's just, if we're keeping the Shore, shouldn't we want to go to the other cards to try and hit the Spider Bomb or the Hunter's Mark?
Well, the tracking plus the card draw probably finds you that answer, and then you keep the cube play dead because
the Hunter's Mark wouldn't be good without the Candle Shot, just to say as well, right?
Did he keep the candle shot?
No.
Good.
He kept tracking Play Dead, Cube, how much the Shot, right?
I think
So-
that's justified.
But I mean, like, if we hit
I don't
Hunter's
have-
Mark, we have to also hit Candle Shot. Otherwise, you're
No.
trading the Shore into the Giant, right?
No, you could have something else. It could be any random 3/3, right? You go Coin Shaw on
I guess.
3, and then turn 4 he giants, and you go
3/3.
Hunter's Mark any
Yeah,
3 drop.
yeah. Sure.
It looked like a pretty reasonable line from Tyler that just did not pan out well. And by reasonable, I mean I liked it. Good.
What do we think of this turn?
Sad. Giggling Inventor would be my instinct, because these giants are beating the shit out of me, and I don't have a better plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Giggling Inventor and Grimace as the Defile hits you. Oh, it goes for Cube.
Okay, I can see this.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to take a hit this turn and try and stabilize next turn. I was going to giggle, but okay. I can see it there.
Now there's a skull.
That's going to fuck up. So 16 to the face, Skull of the Minari.
Can you play around these by not sculling?
Do we care if they skull?
You're talking about Doomguard face to play around Ooze?
Yes, but
The thing is, though, if you skull and they ooze it, can't you just Doomguard them next turn?
he could just cube as well. Cube's so slow. Oh,
This is making me upset.
Yeah, this is giving Tyler a lot of time that he didn't have.
Oh, that's a Zodiacs as well.
This is another game that's definitely over my pay grade. I don't have the experience with these decks to know, but I definitely wanted the Skull Wall face. Like, look really nuts.
It's like there's no bonus really to cubing here. Like you don't have the backup of the Tal'Daram or Faceless.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am.
When you
Tyler
play the
makes
Skull
sense
and the
tempo
downside happens of Ooze, you're still smashing him in the face for a lot. Like, that Ooze
Yeah,
is not doing anything else with that 3 mana.
It's like 3 mana, and like, what else does he do with 3 mana? We know he doesn't have Hunter's Mark. He can't play a
top deck.
taunt.
He was in a spot where he had the top deck thing, right? Like,
Yeah, and
now
he
all of a
like
sudden
he
doesn't
can't
have
play a
top deck,
taunt
he
with
just
that
plays
as well.
better.
So it's like,
Does Godfrey clear here, guys?
Godfrey always clears. There's not a board that Godfrey's not a clear on.
Please play the Skull. Okay.
Okay, good. We got there in the end.
Oh.
Man, this is getting a little spicier than I expected. I thought Tyler was just dead.
Yeah, me too.
Tyler has King Crush in deck, right? We didn't track. What are we tracking over?
I'm gonna
A
say
Grizzly?
not King Crush. Yeah, it was Grizzly Candle Shot. So Tyler's beasts are King Crush only.
Yep.
I kind of like the Devil Soar build of Death Rattle Hunter, but it's definitely a metagame call.
Yeah, I like it as well.
I like this. It's like a Defier is now really bad for Renman.
What
It's
about
push
a
damage.
Hellfire?
What about a Godfrey?
Nah, Godfrey's fine. It clears. Always
You
clears.
obviously don't need to defile this. There's no.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Take that, Divine Shield.
You want a Spider Bomb?
No, I want to play Katharina.
Yeah, well, we have that beast in our deck still, right?
Yeah.
Let's put that in play, see if something good happens. Notably, Tyler's out of cubes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's no threat of cubing this King Crush. That's like a big thing that comes up a lot. Is like you see a King Crush and you're like, well, if I don't kill this, I risk exploding. But now he doesn't have to worry about it. He's just like, yeah, how do we murder this noob?
Is this? No, it's not.
Counting 2 off.
Yep.
So tap into
Wait,
second
wait, wait.
Hellfire, tap into Tal'Daram.
Actually, I'm counting 1 off.
Yeah, it's 1 off. Right? Oh, he almost did it. Yeah, 1 off. Wait, what? Are we putting him to...
Bring him to 3. Oh, wait, is this?
Wait, what's going on here? Did he miscount? No.
Nah, he's just
Yes.
smack him in the face so he has less
Oh,
life.
okay, yeah, sure.
That's not that bad, right?
Yeah. I just thought he was going to
This
Hellfire
limits his
then.
options for the rest of the game.
I thought
kinda
I
hard
really
with
thought
us.
he was Hellfire.
I also thought he was going for Hellfire.
No.
This is just
You
a
don't-
good play, yes.
Yeah, it's just good Hearthstone, Redmond. I like it. Hit him in the face so he has less life. Duh. So there's nothing for Katharina here.
So
Shout out the tracking for that one.
there's board space problems as well.
Twitch chat is calling definitely missed lethal, so that's good.
Oh, is there anything Tyler can even do here?
Is Spider Bomb Ziliax ever enough? You heal for 5?
And then you heal again next turn, right?
Yeah.
And you might kill a
In
guy.
rare circumstances, it's enough. You're just looking for the most defensive plays. You're falling over dead. So it's got to be Spider Bomb Ziliax. That goes into the 1/3. And then your other 2 minions go into the Ziliax. Or no, sorry. You put a minion into the Divine Shield on Ziliax. Then you Spider Bomb Ziliax into the Ziliax. And you run over the 1/3.
You could use a
You leave him
weapon.
with-
You could use a weapon on the Divine Shield, right?
Oh, okay. So you can kill
Yeah, I
all
think you use your weapon because you need to just take as much power off board, and that is that, right?
takes 1 extra power off board.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
and,
is like,
crucially, it makes there's less minions on board, so your Ziliax Death Rattle is more powerful.
yeah.
I'll
But
say
this is just
He should
this
have
is game, right?
used Ziliax first and magnetized the Spider Bomb on it. That way, it's less obvious that it's Spider Bombing something when it dies. It confuses Redmond more.
Uh-huh.
It's just Hellfire Spellstone in game anyway, right? But yeah, you're right.
It's nonsense commentary, but I enjoy it.
Wow. This series.
Man, look at these
this
huge
series was
Warren
great.
Tyler has. Jamie's so dead. I don't know. That was a tough series. The games are super complicated. I think there were mistakes all around. Did seem like the better player won in this series for today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Warlock move was definitely very messy from both sides. You can see the impact. So many decisions each turn, right?
You can see both of them taking huge size. They're like, this, like, I know I didn't do this clean, but whew, we got through it. Man. Are we finishing the group today?
No, I think that might be it for today.
Is that it?
So Blood Trail won the other group and Redmond won this group, so I think that's it for today.
Yeah, yesterday they just did up to here, right? 6 games a day.
Yeah, so I think tomorrow is like the losers bracket of groups, and then Sunday is like championship day.
Yep. Yeah, chat's confirmed. That's it.
So we're done for today. It's Hearthstone.
Cool. Yep.
Oh, God. All right, well, I'll catch you guys later. I'm going to take a break and then play some Hearthstone.
Yeah, sweet. Yeah, thanks for
So-
coming on with us today.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out.
Thanks,
It was fun.
Felt like I learned stuff. Made me happy.
Oh boy, me too.
Learning's
It's
fun.
hard.
I'll say it's hard. I'm gonna go as well. Thanks for having me on.
Okay, see you, Toast.
Bye.
Hello, chat. It's just me now. I'm also going to say goodbye. Hello, creepy Uncle Paul. It's just you, poor disaster. Yeah, unlucky guys. I hope you enjoyed those games and the conversations with Saleh and Toast. Is there anything you want to say, guys? Oh yeah, I have an emote slot. What's it going to be? People were saying it should be Ball Bessie earlier, but there's more people here. Hello, subs of the channel. There is one emote slot. Are there any requests? What does a good even paladin deck look like these days? Something like this. No Boar solo casting today feels weird, man. Yeah, unlucky. Unlucky. Boar what? Boar Bessie Dab. Boar Bessie. Boar what? Isn't Boar Disaster already feeling the Boar what? What? Boar Creep? Nah. I mean, Ninja Creep is a very popular emote, right? I don't think Boar Creep's so good. I can make a... Why is it Boar Disaster? Because I say disaster sometimes. Yeah, it has to be Boar Nonsense. No. I could make a Boar Nonsense emote, maybe. Boar Good Hunter, Boar Subject 9. Problem with those emotes is that over time they become less relevant, right? Next expansion that won't be relevant maybe, so those emotes kind of suck, right? Is there anyone online to host? Am I going to play Hearthstone? Nah, I'm done for the day. It's 8 hours. I got some messages to respond to and stuff. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it here. Am I going to Meltdown tomorrow? I don't plan on going, Ben. Just gonna do this. Just gonna keep on streaming. Next expansion, you replace the emotes. Yeah, I could do that. There's the 6K tourney. Yeah, I don't know, Ben. It gives me no exposure, right? And then I'm probably not gonna win the 6K tournament, right? What's my expected EV? It's like, I don't know. And I could head down. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, guys. I should be doing the same thing tomorrow. I will see you all later. Bye-bye. Bored jammies is me wearing a nightcap? No.